you grind a grain, whatever, like a seeds or grain, does that lose weight? In this video, I'll share a couple of my observations, notes, and experiences. If you looked at the Cooked, the Netflix series by Michael Pollan, based on his book with the same name, in season, like episode, only had one season, I guess, and episode 3, titled Air, about 16 minutes into the program, where that out of 53 minutes, 37 were remaining, there was a scene where um, in a flour mill in Morocco, a mill worker says that they get a wheat weighing like 310 metric tons of wheat every day through trains, and then they convert that into flour. So the flour weight was just 240 metric tons. So the difference between what they are getting and then what they are turning into the flour is like 70 metric tons, 310 metric tons minus 240 metric tons equal to 70 metric tons. So where did the 70 metric tons of wheat disappeared into? So we can look at the possible scenarios where the loss of weight happened. Like one of the thing is like they wash the wheat, right? Like so, if there is a dirt on the grain, so that gets washed away, and that causes some loss of some weight. And then possibly, let's hope there is some moisture when the grain came in, and then when they wash and then dry, probably they lose that moisture, and that also causes some loss in the weight. And then when the grain were ground into flour, some of the flour might fly away, like to the wind, or so they might fall on the ground. So that might cause some loss. And then the leftover coarse material, like not everything will be ground into fine flour, right? So some of the coarse material will be left over. So that these four might be causing to the whatever the difference they have, like a 70 metric tons. But so are those four components really causing 70 metric tons of loss in the weight? Um, we like a controlled experiment might reveal what is happening in that scenario. But I will share one personal experience. When in my childhood, there was a in my village where they started a small flour mill, um, and that caters to probably 1 kg, 2 kg, like under probably 10 under 10 kgs, or like 15 20 lbs worth of grain can be ground into flour. So I remember going with one of my adults in my family. So when the probably that might be the rice. So when that rice was ground into flour, um, there was a weight difference between what were brought in into the mill and then what the end product was. And then the adult was like arguing, because that is the first time they put the mill in the village. Nobody has an experience what happens with that. So the flour mill worker was explaining that it happens, there will be loss of material, loss of weight. And then the adult in my with whom I went to, kind of arguing that like so now you kind of stole the some of the material. So that argument went on, but he couldn't able to do anything, so we just came back. But I think every villager might have experienced the same thing, and then due to the harassment of villagers, the person who kept that flour mill eventually closed the mill and then just left the village. So that much was the harassment. Like everybody think that like he was stealing the um, like material, whatever that leftover the difference was. So when I saw that like episode, then I thought like that's a real thing. So and also based on my theory of gravity, like when the density of the material is more, then it weighs more. When the density is less, the material will weigh less. So based on that, I think I understood that like that experience is very common. So if one of you has similar experience, or if you have worked in flour mill, or you kind of went in for grinding a grain, if you experience similar kind of weight loss in the initial material and then final material, share that experience in a comment. This I think the short kind of video explaining what happens when density of a material changes, the weight, or the I use the word weight, but basically it's the mass, the way we measure it in the balance scale. So the mass of the material gets changed, and that's what I want to kind of bring that point to, like for the for everybody to wanted to share with you people. That's why I brought that point to for the discussion. Thank you very much for watching the video.